I'm not sure I'm going to be doing much singing.
Fortunate, probably.
All right, so let's go through this. Okay. So, you move the body to match a song. No one in this country had a motive. Machi practically... Okay, I want to know what the signature is.
Yeah, me too. That seems suspect.
What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. Bullet holes. The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in here. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No! You can't be serious!
Machi! He can't see! That's why he missed?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. Poorly.
That reminds me. The monitor in that room was blaring at that time, yeah? Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound.
A blind shooter. No wonder he missed. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice. What do I do now? Probably raise an objection.
That seemed like the lawyerly thing to do.
Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see.
Oh, how so?
Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate their shoulder. Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobai, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. A convincing argument, to be sure. Ha ha! Take that, smug prosecution!
Apollo?
Huh? What?
That bit about Machi being tiny. And the gun throwing off his aim? Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it?
Fuck! Entrapment!
Yeah,
Oh.
dumbass.
Oh.
It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point.
Cripes. I really put my foot in it this time.
But let's get to the Let's get the facts of the matter on record. If you would, Fräulein Detective.
Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. Right. Okay, so from the state of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind. So, present crime photo.
Yeah.
Let's check this. Okay, well, this was clearly wiped away.
Uh-huh. So why would someone wipe it away if they couldn't see it?
Yeah. The prosecution holds that the shooter couldn't see. A scientific conclusion based on a thorough examination of the crime scene, yes. Apparently not thorough enough. I have a certain piece of evidence that completely overturns your claim. What?
Huh?
This is that evidence. The photograph of the crime scene. Let me try that again. The photograph of the crime scene. I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face. But this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point.
Then perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, yeah?
Okay,
That's a weird line.
That's a phrase.
That's a phrase no one said before.
Very well. Show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is... wiped away.
Oh, wiped away blood. We love a mini game.
Yeah.
Yes, the DS has a touchscreen. We love it.
The contradiction is right here. The smeared bloodstains. I thought it was just my blurry vision, but it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head, much like a gesture I have seen many times in this court. It's almost as if he wrote something.
Aha! I get it. At least, I think I get it. Get what, Fräulein? When Mr. Tues was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write with the shooter's name? And what would he write it in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for making my point for me, 15-year-old child. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion.
Drat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that.
Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind.
Neither would I.
Okay, we're none of us are killers, though, right? just checking. No one has anything else to say about what they would do if they were a murderer.
No one just wants to clear that up.
Say about what? So the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer, and that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Tues was writing something in blood once the killer saw what it was. Wait. Once he saw what it was. But what did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Yet, the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machitobai, couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now...
It seems I owe the court an apology.
Hmm?
The Gaffney's are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred. During our concert, apparently this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner.
Updated autopsy report.
Oh, spicy.
Well, not exactly autopsy report, but something similar. So I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Vibes are off again.
Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that?
Guess he's a carefree guy and he's trying not to act rattled.
Like he knows something we don't. He knows a lot of things and he's about to tell us. I've got an idea. Let's rock. With these documents. But before that...
With these documents.
But before that, I have a question for the Fräulein detective. If I may,
What?
tell me, why do you think that Machitobai is blind?
Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind.
Of course.
He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamiroir lead him around by the hand all the time? No way.
Yeah. I have a report here on the defendant, Machitobai. According to this, Machitobai can see perfectly well.
What?
His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever,
Borginians.
Borginians. I completely blanked on that name. Yeah, Borginians. Okay. He can see quite well.
No, he can't.
No, liar. How about nuh-uh?
But you said...
What did I say exactly?
Hey, Your Honor, who cares about this?
Your Honor, this is bullying. I thought this courtroom was anti-bullying.
Call out post for this court.
Hair forehead, not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was Fräulein Detective.
But that's...
A significant fact, yes. Consider Machitobai sees. And he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this.
But what about the bullet holes in the wall?
Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Hair Forehead has neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, Hair Forehead.
Yay.
That was fun. We should bully Apollo more.
Everyone want to bully Apollo. No fair.
Hair does stupid things. I knew you didn't have what it took.
Oh my god!
That's real mean.
You jerk! Just what was I in for? Comic relief?
Yeah, apologize.
Apologize.
Oh, sorry. That's no way to apologize.
He's angered the Trucy now. Look out. If we can please end the bickering now. Girls, they're fighting again. Judicial alert. The girls are fighting. Whatever. I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me. But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Don't say that. Aha! Aha! Aha what? This blood stain, the criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes? We might be able to find out what was really written there. Really? You can do that?
Are we getting a minigame?
Yes, we are.
Yay!
That's right. With this. It's called Luminol. Maybe you know of it. It's a chemical that reacts to blood.
Ah, yes. We have done those tests. Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet?
As if I'm going to tell you, the prosecution and the boss of, everything.
Also, she's mad at you.
Yeah, she's very mad.
Don't talk to me. I'm angry. The bloodstains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps you should request it here in court now.
Right. Go for it, Apollo. Why is the defense attorney so... Okay.
This should be the... Yeah.
I have to do the test. You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. Chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it.
Have at it?
Yeah, do
That's
your
the
stuff.
official court thing?
Yeah,
Have at
the
it?
official judicial ruling is go for it, Apollo.
Nike, just do it.
Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Just touch the screen to spray an area. Here, give it a try.
The eyes of the entire court are focused on me.
Apollo, your hand's shaking.
Yeah, thank you, Jersey. Let's do this. Wow, it really works.
This must be the power of science.
It says IPXX314206. Is that the killer's name?
Yeah, okay, sure. It's his fucking driver's license number.
Aha, I have it.
So what is it?
I thought those letters IPX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number.
Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency?
Why would you write the Interpol number and not just a name? Okay. Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. But why would he write that number?
Why would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that?
Good show, Fräulein Detective. Rock on. Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come to the witness stand. Didn't Darian miss a cue? Darian, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number.
Yeah, what am I, your gopher? Fuck off. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27.
Why? Just go get some Starbucks.
I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution's case is airtight, or so it seems. Yet if this number is really that of an Interpol agent...
Oh, wait, I know. What if Machi Tobai is really an undercover Interpol agent?
That'd be fantastic. That would be a possibility.
Would it?
Why not?
A possibility, yes. And one that would mark him as the killer for certain. Why did Mr. Latouche know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know.
Well, we have some time while we await Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi Tobai.
What are you talking about?
Fräulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could, in fact, see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you.
You had me until that last bit.
Does this not raise further straightforward question?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I try and skip early so that it doesn't like delay too much with the, the internet.
Yeah.
But
Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see?
Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think, Hair Forehead?
huh? Me?
Machi Tobai pretended he was blind. Do you know why?
How could he know?
Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he?
He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time.
Yeah, it runs in the family. Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is some kind of game?
Yeah, maybe a game on the DS with the touchscreen.
Do you know that? Oh gosh, know that the moment I heard the report, I knew why.
I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else.
Yeah, they're incredibly annoying.
What does that have to do with anything?
There was a reason why Machi Tobai pretended to be blind. But it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now?
Wasn't for himself. Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness?
I haven't a clue.
Yeah. Machi had no reason to pretend he couldn't see. Which means, no, it couldn't be.
Good show, Hair Forehead. It seems you thought of something.
Why can't I figure these things out on my own?
Because you're a protagonist.
I hate having to take my cues from this guy. Very well. Look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see.
Oh, the postcard?
Sightseeing music. That is Lamiroir. Lamiroir and Machi Tobai. Recall their relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamiroir and our pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. She led him at all times, never letting him go. All times? Yet we have just learned something that makes their arrangement particular indeed. Peculiar indeed. Machi could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their, performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. That can only mean one thing.
Really?
Really. It was all the other way around.
Yep.
The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lamiroir. What's this? So you mean to say that Lamiroir is... she's... Yes, Your Honor. Lamiroir is blind.
What?
Order, order, order! This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin!
Is it now?
It's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to say that, like, I was thinking that Lamiroir just didn't do any of the actual music and this was like a weird... like they were covering for the sightseeing being his music, but no, this is way weirder.
Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim.
The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. Yet I see it is not so vast in vain this time.
Thanks, I guess.
He's quite correct.
But that makes no sense.
Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something?
Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lamiroir herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does this mean for our case?
Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I haven't even imagined it until now.
Also, you guys keep all your witnesses in the same room?
I guess.
Bad. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, they have guards. They probably keep them separated.
It just feels like they should all have their own separate green room.
Yeah, or something separate because some of the witnesses are usually the killers.
Yeah. And also lying together.
Bailiff, bring in Lamiroir.
Lamiroir. It pained me deeply to call you before us again this way. And yet I must.
Please, do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes. She really can't see? Really? It is true. How funny it is that a tiny light born in the Virginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world.
So you are?
Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lamiroir. Note, too, that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lamiroir.
I see.
You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, Hair Forehead.
What's that?
I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses.
You're a piece of shit.
Okay, I want to announce that I've come all the way around on him. I did not like him at the beginning, but now I realize he writes detailed notes about what he's going to say, so he's never caught in one of his own lies before trial. I'm sure he has note cards in front of him. I adore this. This is fantastic.
He is incredibly smart, is the thing. He gets away with so much because people think he's just a cool rock star, and he plays up that persona, and then he's like, actually, I never said that I was a direct witness.
This is the kind of shit that I love this. I have pulled something like this, not in a courtroom, but I have done something like this.
Yeah. It's very you.
I love this guy. Now, Lamiroir, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes?
Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. Though I admit I'm a little lost here.
I think we're all a little bit lost here, Your Honor. Lamiroir's eyes. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So, silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others.
But this is a murder trial.
I apologize. It was part of my contracts, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would...
She told us the truth in the beginning. When she said she saw nothing.
Very well. Does the defense have anything to add?
I'd like to cross-examine.
Probably a good call.
Yeah.
But what is there left to ask?
There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me.
Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system.
Thanks.
Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself.
Oh my god. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Very well. That was...
Sorry, I was working on my Apollo Justice impression. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware that this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful for the witness.
Okay. There was only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that part and I'll be happy. Okay. I think I remember this one. Okay, no memory of the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my producer. Everyone on my staff knew. Okay.
Ooh.
When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course. He was my manager.
So he knew. And that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You're thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo?
Yes, I was. Because he said, yeah, he's alive, Mr. Lachuse, blah, blah, blah. Cold, so cold, witness. Okay, can't see. Hang in there. The witness is siren. Can't see, the witness is siren.
Come on, Apollo, put the two sentences together. You'll get there.
Mr. Lachuse told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind.
I don't know.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself.
Meaning what?
Oh my god, Apollo.
Apollo!
There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more.
The witness, siren. We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense.
Wow.
So Apollo was just standing there being like, oh, I went like this, and then he went like that. And
I assumed so by that. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. What I mean is what he said before that.
Before? What came before that? Ah!
That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness.
I see.
Too bad the defense did not. Well, Hair Forehead, try relaxing and looking at the facts next time.
Ah!
I love Trucy's little lean forward pose for that.
Yeah, she's so invested. Order! Order!
Recall Lamimore's earlier testimony.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it.
But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that.
That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through the window. Why else would he have named her as the witness?
Ah. But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and the man's voice.
Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. You've already run a simulation, of course.
But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant.
Your Honor.
Yeah. What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here?
We have the results back from the investigation.
The investigation?
Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us.
Huh. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescend, your report, please.
Wow.
I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing.
Quick work as always, Darian.
Well, tell us about that number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche.
What?
Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. And a cautious killer tried to wipe them away.
Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent? So him being Lamimore's manager
was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found.
Well, out with it.
It concerns that .45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romain Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms. And the registration number on the revolver were matched. Yeah, let me try that again. and the registration number on the revolver matched.
So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who was an Interpol agent with such a large revolver.
So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. Wonder how that ties into everything.
It's got to tie in somehow, you'd think.
Yeah, somehow.
Thanks for looking into that, Detective Crescend. It's a great help.
Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor.
I'll be heading out.
What?
Lamiroir, is something the matter?
That voice just now.
Darian?
Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it.
It was him.
You aren't saying...
That voice I heard talking to Mr. Letus when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him! It was Mr. Darian!
Is this some kind of joke?
What? No way.
Oh, I'm so glad to learn it's not a shark keeper, but just a jacket.
Yeah. The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamiroir.
Sorry, I hate when they say this.
Yeah, you want to kill...
Lamiroir accusing Darian Crescent. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective.
Everyone knows guitarists can't kill people.
Yeah. Guitar playing releases endorphins.
And endorphins make people happy, and
Happy people don't kill people. Could it really have been his voice Lamiroir heard? Things were changing fast. And frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it.
So retire. Hey, no whimpering out now, Apollo.
To be continued! Trial day 1 complete.
What a day one.
Yeah, right?
Ooh. Oh, man.
All right, so we will continue with our investigation next time.
Catch you later.